now. It's a very reliable grid already, but we're really thinking about how do we take that further and being prepared for the most catastrophic of events
Right.
because people are so reliant. They're reliant now. They're going to be even more reliant in
They'll
the
be
future.
more reliant in
Yeah,
the future.
absolutely.
Also, things like roads and bridges and tunnels, it seems they've got to be retrofitted as well to make sure that cars don't run into each other, don't run into things. And I don't. I guess I don't know the answer to the question of whether we're doing that. Are we preparing for that eventuality?
Well, here at ITC, we're focusing strictly on the electrical grid and being ready for what could be, hundreds of thousands of vehicles connecting at any time of the day. So traditionally, you load, people go home and turn on the lights and load goes up, but we have to be prepared for charging vehicles 24 hours throughout the day.
Right.
So when people need it, and that's the kind of thing that we're looking at in terms of being ready for that kind of future.
Yeah. Yeah. So
We have to have a really robust grid.
is it a different kind of grid as well than the one that we have right now?
Oh, it's going to change because the needs are going to change. Even though the grid's very old, over 100 years old, and its uses weren't thought of, back when it was created. It's going to adapt to have to come up with what we need for charging.
What about the sources of power for those things? How we generate the power for the grid, is that going to have to change as well?
Well, that's already changing now, as you well know. We're here in Michigan. We're shutting down many of the older coal plants,
right,
and bringing on renewable energy in the form of wind, solar, and new natural gas-fired plants. So we're already seeing that change in Michigan and across the Midwest where we do business, and planning for those eventualities.
Yeah. How ubiquitous are we likely to see electric vehicles, reliance on electric, be in your estimation? Is this half the market in 10 years? Is this 75% of the market?
It'd be great for our business if it was 100%.
You could say it's 100, right? You want it all.
I think that from a transmission perspective, where we do business, we'll be ready for the change because it's not going to happen overnight.
Right.
And in our business, we evolve over time as well. We've done that with the connection of renewable energy in Michigan. It's taken years to expand the grid and make it reliable so that we can do that for customers.
Yeah. From a policy perspective, are there things in the regulatory sphere that we need to change? Are there things, there are investments that we need government to make to help with this trends?
Oh, definitely. In the way we have planned the system traditionally is going to have to change with the addition of electric vehicles. There's no doubt about it. The traditional models that we've used and don't take really that into account.
Yeah.
And so changes to the grid and projects that we probably wouldn't have done 20 years ago, we'll be doing those projects because they're going to be needed for customers to reliably charge their cars.
Right.
Yeah.
When you talk about that, do you feel like government is sort of attuned to that need? Are they thinking about what that future should look like and preparing for it as well?
I think we all know that the way that we've planned the grid before is going to have to change.
Yeah.
The uses are so different from even just 15 years ago when ITC went into business.
Yeah.
So we know that there's going to have to be changes in how we plan for it, and we want to make those changes because we want to be able to serve customers' needs when their transportation methodology is changing.
Right. You say, as you say, ITC is a relative newcomer.
Relatively new.
On that stage. Is this something that will likely encourage more players to be in the energy producing business? Is this something that we could see inspire more companies to try to get into the sector?
Oh, I think it certainly could. When meeting a need, new businesses are always created, and so if certainly the existing businesses don't adapt and build out their systems to provide that need for these transportation customers, other businesses will certainly come in and take over.
Yeah. And is that transmission, generation, all of it? The idea.
You
that,
know, we could see changes at all parts of the system. Yeah,
at all parts
absolutely.
of it. Yeah. I mean, it's an exciting future. Do you guys
it's-
get worked up about it as much
we sure
as
do.
people
Yeah,
are about the
as much
differences?
as us utility people can.
Right.
We certainly do. It really is, and it's exciting because our technology is, as I said, we've been around for over 100 years.
Yeah.
And it's really satisfying to see whether it's transportation or the technology of all the electronics we have, be relying on something so old.
Okay, great. Thanks very much for being
You
here.
bet. Thank you.
You've been watching Detroit Public Television's live coverage of the Mackinac Policy Conference. We're going to take you back into the theater now, where Wayne County Executive Warren Evans is giving his